What's going on, you guys? Welcome you guys to the channel. It's your boy Big Dog back with another one take review. And today I got one for STARGIRL, season 2, episode 5. And oh my god, I didn't even think of the title for this episode. It really doesn't matter because I just get into the episode because it should have been called A Painter's Muse. You know what? I did not rehearse that. That came right off the top of my dome. That's exactly why this is a one take review because this shit just comes out of nowhere. But nonetheless, I love this episode. I thought this episode was really good and probably one of my favorite, probably my second favorite of the season. I think the first, or it might be possibly my favorite. I don't know. It's just they all kind of blend together because it's like such a smooth transition from one episode to the next. But nonetheless, we have Cindy still out here recruiting, and we find out that she already has Artemis and Isaac. Artemis and Isaac are pretty much on board with the whole new ISA, but she has to get. She's trying to get Cameron. She's trying to get Mike. She talks to Cameron, and Cameron says to her, "Do you remember what you said? I think it was third or fourth grade when your mother died. You said I didn't really like her anyway." So when Cindy's not the person they probably should have sent to recruit, they more than likely it would have been better off them sending somebody like Isaac because Isaac seems to be able to relate more, and Isaac doesn't have the reputation that Cindy had, especially considering in order to recruit somebody like Cameron, who I like was great in this episode. The stuff with him and Court, the stuff with him and Rick I didn't quite understand that. I don't know if it just seems like they don't like each other. Like we've never had any indication why those two wouldn't necessarily like each other. And it seems like maybe Rick just like, yo, you know what I'm saying, you your daddy's son, so I don't rock with you. So I don't know about that. That part kind of felt weird to me. But yeah, the stuff with him and Court. One of the things that was weird though with him and Court is when he told her like she always leaves or like, you know what I'm saying, it's never there. It was some along those lines. I'm paraphrasing, of course. I was just like, dude, how much did y'all really talk? Like, we know y'all got it. Both of y'all kind of got a thing for one another, but it's never just been. Y'all ain't dating. Y'all ain't. I don't even know if they texting. Like, how deep is your love? I don't know. My bad. I just burst out the song. It was random. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, you tripping, Cam. You know what I'm saying? And plus, like, they were blowing her up. If I were her, I'd have been like, cool, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? You wanna, you know what I'm saying, walk me out? Like this my parents hit me up. Like they want me to get back to like he wouldn't have tripped over that. But speaking of going back to the beginning a little bit when I'm talking about Cindy trying to recruit him, one of the things I liked the most was OG Grams. Like Grams, like, hey, stay away from my grandson and whatever stuff you got going on. And like she Cindy was thinking like she about to check her, and you saw the cold air coming out Graham's mouth. I was like, nah, I'm real deal. I'm like that. Don't play with me. Don't play with me, little girl. I'll put you on your ass. Like it's like yo, you a monster just like your daddy. And speaking of that, we get to see some of the backstory with Cindy, where she was living with her mom, and like she, like obviously you can tell she was about in the fourth grade when she was just like, okay, she had a nightmare. They're like, hey mom, I think dad's coming for me. He's gonna turn me into to like him. She's like, you'll never see him again. We got away from him. And I knew it. I'm just looking at that black spot when she was laying in the bed. I'm like, he's over there. He's over there. And obviously he was. But I want to see more of that. Cause like it kind of got like Cindy on. It kind of got on edge, and she is so caught up in what's happening, she doesn't realize what's going on. She doesn't realize that she didn't, because like she didn't even try to get the art teacher, person Dessinger. I mean not Mr. Dessinger. Cindy had no intentions of doing that to him, but Eclipso is constantly getting stronger for like she said he using his power and like he's being able to like not necessarily manifest outside the black diamond yet, but eventually he will. Eventually that diamond will no longer. It probably a crack or break, and that's when we actually get to see Eclipso really in action. And speaking of Mr. Dessinger, he just kept talking about a muse. I thought we was gonna get more as to like what he meant by a muse, or maybe what necessarily happened to like the person who was his muse, but we didn't really get that. But with his art, he was able to create something. He kind of felt like Venom to me, if I'm being real. He like the light shining on him, and like that's how Court took him down. Court is the perfect person to take down. Well, actually, to take down Shade and Eclipso, because like the bright light bothers them, and that makes total sense because it's like Stargirl. I mean, the style shines bright as a star. You know, if you feel me, that's not necessarily said, but of course, Stargirl. That's what I'm just gonna say. Burns as bright as a star. Um, but Beth, Yolanda, Rick, all of them like going through some stuff in that situation. Like Rick seeing, like Rick does not necessarily see himself like he thought he would, and I kind of, cause I was wondering, I'm like, why is he helping out um Solomon Grundy? And I think Rick kind of was like, yeah, I didn't know anything about Grundy. Was just they literally had Grundy caged up, and like he was just giving orders what to do. Like if you know, like the story of Solomon Grundy, and like most of the time they use the character in the comics, it always end up being he always end up feeling like a sympathetic character. So and that's kind of I feel like what they doing with Rick. That's because Rick is like, okay, I thought Solomon Grundy was bad, but I was beating the hell out of him, and like this, it's like he felt like I'm assuming, this is me assuming because it hasn't, you know, what I'm saying, necessarily been fully said yet, and I'm sure it will, or hopefully it will. It like beating up Solomon Grundy kind of like beating up a kid. You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't know no better. Like, and Solomon Grundy technically doesn't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like barely can form sentences. It's like he knows a certain amount of things, but like not really and truly. You have Beth dealing with her parents, and like her whole world is being torn apart. I know people who like I didn't grow up in that environment. Okay, I'm just be real. I didn't grow up in that mom and dad environment, but like people I know who did, and then when their parents like split up or something like that, like it affects them. Like, and like she thought, and it's the fact that she can't see it, or like she didn't see it coming because they weren't really spending that much time together. They eat breakfast together. Like she don't really know the real. It seemed like they were like shielding her from it. And then when she confronts them at the end, I actually really enjoyed that because I didn't know if it was like for sure or not. But they basically like, yeah, it's a mutual decision, but we haven't like made up our minds yet. And it's crazy because I'm like, it's hard for her to like cope with that. Because what are they gonna do? Spend more time together? They always at work. Like they're always at work. I wonder when. Like I legitimately wonder when both of them get home. You know what I'm saying? Like what's going on? And Yolanda's is the most difficult because Yolanda's feels like she's at the fault, where she feels like she's to blame for two deaths. Like, and that's eating her up on the inside. So I like the way Eclipso is playing mind games with them. We haven't seen him get to court yet, but I'm sure he will. Uh, Something that I wanted to talk about that's completely gone under the like flown under the radar for me is Pat and Mike. Pat wanted to give Mike and more like he was on Mike's ass for a little bit, and I wish I didn't like him. I'm like, dude, you tripping? Like, you know what I'm saying, Pat? Like, and then I thought about it. I said, Mike is Pat. Pat used to be in the same position that Mike was. No superpowers, but just wanted to be involved. And I'm kind of wondering. I thought we were gonna get that moment today where Pat actually like said that. He did say like, I know how you feel. Once he said I know how you feel, I was just like, yeah, Pat actually does know how I feel. Because a lot of times when people say that, I'll be trying to like, does he really? Do they really? And like, he definitely does because he was in that same position. Granted, he was a little bit older than Mike, but I was just like, wow, that's something to really think about. So I'm hoping we explore that a little bit more. But I do think Pat is obviously gonna mess up again, and in a couple situations, I think Pat is gonna come to blows with not only Court, because him and Barbara are still hiding something from her, but also Mike, which is Mike lead Mike over to the ISA, which I think would be an interesting twist if Mike really goes there. And there's a part of me kind of want him to, uh, just because I think it would throw a different dynamic as to what's going on. So yeah, I think that'll be great. Now, last but not least, we had a conversation between the Shade and Barbara, in which he pretty much laid it down to her like, you don't know what you're getting into, and neither does your kids in their little band. Like, let me take care of this. This stuff is getting bad. Like, oh, you notice the weather? Well, that's the prelude. You don't want to see the finale. And he legit seems like, bro, I'm really trying to protect y'all. We don't know why. I think that's something I'm still interested in seeing, because one, he did say there's a difference between bad and evil. So he still has Doctor Midnight trapped in this, like, I guess, shadow realm. Shout out to Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, that's what I'm gonna call it for now. But he's trying to stop Eclipso. So I don't know exactly what the Shade's true motives are, because I know it's not everything he says. I think you can trust him to an extent in this case, but I think there's still more you might have to worry about. So yeah, that's Stargirl as my review of it. I thought like I said, I thought the episode was great. I'm about to probably watch and see what the next week gonna be like, because I'm 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 I might can I react to it? Yeah, I don't mind me reacting to it. I never actually watch it during the show, so I might just watch it now and just add the clip in here. Um, let's see. This is odd. That's weird. Let's see what I said. Stargirl. Bull. Season 2, episode 6. Uh-oh. Chapter 6. Let me just, cause this is just to I have some speculation for next week. What I think possibly could be about to happen. Give me a second. And there I go.
What do you want? I want to hurt you. First your friends, and then your family, then you.
Oh my! Oh my! That's what I've been waiting on. Oh, next week gonna be fine. Oh, it's up next week. Y'all already know it's up next week. Oh man, I hope I don't gotta do nothing. I might try to watch this that night, cause I don't have like cable, so I have to wait till it to come on the CW app, and it drops on the CW app at like 12 in the morning, Wednesday morning. So I might have to stay up that night. I usually be up anyway, but I miss sleeping a little bit earlier now. But I might have to stay up for that one, because I have to see that, and I want to get that review up. You know what I'm saying, right after the episode, or as quickly as I possibly can, just so I can get that to y'all, because that seems like that's gonna be one I'm looking for. What's the name on the offensive? Yeah, and she's gonna fight him by herself, so I'm pretty sure Cindy gonna lose. But that's gonna show the ISA, like, show the other people like Isaac and Artemis, like, why she needs their help. So yeah, I like that. I like that episode a lot. I think I'm gonna like that episode a lot. And then she still has the Black Diamond. So what part is the Eclipse are gonna play in all of this? This finna be some fire shit. I can't wait till next week. You guys, let me know what y'all thought about this episode down in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching the vid. Hope you guys staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys later. Peace.